نحمي الشعوب لأن ده من حقها. مع بعض نقدر كلنا نحمي السلام، نحمي البلاد بقوة تحفظ أمنها. مع بعض نقدر كلنا نحمي الشعوب، نحمي الشعوب لأن ده من حقها. سلام حياة، سلام أمان، سلام على مر الزمان، سلام بقوة مش بضعف وخوف جبان.
Vivre en paix est une grande grâce et nous devons la préserver. La force est indispensable à la sécurité.
نقدر نكمل بعضنا طول عمرنا بما إننا متجمعين، وهدفنا واحد والسلام بيهمنا، وده حلمنا طول السنين.
Nous sommes ici pour chanter pour la paix et chaque race qui la porte. Et par mes mots, je veux dire être unis pour la force d'une paix forte. نحمي السلام، بقوة تحفظ أمنها.
مع بعض نقدر كلنا نحمي الشعوب، نحمي الشعوب لأن ده من حقها. مع بعض نقدر كلنا نحمي السلام، نحمي السلام وتحفظ أمنها. مع بعض نقدر كلنا نحمي الشعوب، نحمي الشعوب لأن ده من حقها. سلام حياة، سلام أمان، سلام على مر الزمان، سلام بقوة مش بضعف وخوف جبان.
To live in peace is such a grace, and this is our message to the whole world. Peace needs a strong hand to hold.
نقدر كلنا نحمي السلام، نحمي البلاد.
ومرحبا، أسعد الله صباحكم بكل الخير من مركز المنارة.
From the Manara Center in New Cairo, welcome everyone. After a while, the opening of this important exhibition will start. The Defense Expo in the third version. The first and second edition were very successful among different countries. This is the third version. The third version will witness the participation of more than 46 countries and 400 participator in the International Security and Defense Exhibition in Egypt. It is the largest expo in Africa and the Middle East and one of the most important expos for defense products. About 35,000 participants on the individual level and for more than 40 companies. This great momentum gives a lot of it's from the 4th to the 7th of December 2023, among lots of challenges and
والحفاظ على الأمن القومي وقوة الردع وكذلك
This is a
التعاون
demonstration
العسكري
of
المشترك بين
military
دول العالم
cooperation,
الدول
joint military cooperation between the world's states. This expo is highly significant in this regard
الاستقرار في
to achieve stability in the region, which should be the center of attention, especially at the moment, as the President Sisi is working in this context and speaking about the necessity of the situation in the region. The Defense Expo represents cooperation, stability, as well as strength and power, as the Egyptian armed forces during the previous period has added a lot to its military power.
مستوى التصنيف العالمي كذلك هذا المعرض هو معرض العالم هو المعرض الأكبر في المنطقة.
The world is the biggest
الشرق الأوسط
now is witnessing this expo.
اتفاقيات كثيرة حال بتعقد في مثل هذا أيضا لقاءات على مستويات مهمة لقاءات ثنائية ومتعددة والأطراف ما نتحدث
Egypt is hosting this expo on an annual basis. This year, actually talking about this volume of an expo witnessing international companies that I will not mention the names of, all the large names working in the field of military and defense, in the fields of arming and weapons and the national security and so on, of sub-branches of defense and weapons. They are all here present, all the international companies in the field of air forces and air defense. We are witnessing now all the equipment, heavy and light equipment. This is a large event, and we all we're going to follow up during the next few days. President Sisi opening, inaugurating this expo of this volume. The strength of Egypt is not a place of doubt, but we are seeking peace, acknowledging peace, protecting this peace, because peace always requires a strength for protection. Since we are in the middle of an area with lots of challenges and risks and confrontations. But the national security of Egypt is not just for Egypt, but for the entire region, for the entire Arab nation. Egypt is the center of love and peace for the entire region without exception. Also with many of the world's states, Egypt headed east and west, and talking about the weaponry systems is very important, as well as talking about the efficiency and the soldier efficiency. As the President Sisi is always keen on attending such events, following up very closely all the very accurate details, graduating different academies, and all the cadets that we have seen graduating at the last period. We are talking about the readiness of the army. This is now nothing new to Egypt. At the field of defense, this is a lot of credit that Egypt has gained during the last period, adding to the armed forces and the different means of defense, and what can be used in the weapon system to be added to the strength and power of Egypt. as the Egyptian soldier has proved more than once in different events along the history, the old history and the modern history. The Egyptian soldier has proved their strength and power protecting peace with all they can do.
داخل صفوف القوات المسلحة في مؤسساتها المختلفة هي مؤسسة
The armed forces is the institution for discipline that Egypt relies on for defending all the definition of peace. And I'm talking about several fields that the armed forces is tackling right now, preserving peace and security, as well as the wishes and hopes of the citizen feeling and sensing this sense of security. It is a system and a vision, a new vision of development of the defense system, which is developing day after another. Now there is a strategic depth for the defense system with a high level of discipline and training. Every day we witness new events. Of course, I go back to talking about this exhibition that is being opened after a few minutes. President Sisi will check the wings, the different wings of the expo. And we can witness the different interviews and meetings between the members of the expo and the ministries of defense from different countries and the companies, that some of which are not military, but some civil companies are in the military production field. Mr. President Sisi, Commander-in-Chief. Good morning. Please have a seat. Mr. President Abdel Fattah Sisi, President of the Arab Republic of Egypt and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests of Egypt, welcome on the Egyptian land, the land of peace and civilizations and cultures, and the forum of religions. Welcome to a homeland protecting the entire humanity, the homeland of power and peace, Egypt that walked on the peace roads, as peace is always the choice of humanity. Egypt, the land of miracles, a land that is hosting a people that can conquer the impossible. A great nation that is proving every day their genius in protecting their homeland and its belongings, and always seeking construction and development. With a very wise political leadership, a great nation and a great army, the Egyptians were able to provide now a new homeland, a new republic that impressed the entire world. This homeland that is seeking to have power mechanisms to enforce the peace. It is the great appreciation and pride for all of us is Egypt hosting this great edition of EDEX for military industries. Egypt Defense Expo 2023 on 18,000 square meters. This expo is witnessing and hosting international and local companies pioneering in the military industries. 410 companies from 44 states in 22 international wings, showcasing the most state-of-the-art products in the military field, providing a very great opportunity to showcase the Egyptian companies' products in the field of military industries. We start with a short video for Challenge and Well. History can tell the story of the Egyptian Marine Forces for years. The present can tell you the
فأثبتوا قدرتهم وأكدوا جدارتهم. وما كانت قواتنا البحرية أن تصل إلى ما وصلت إليه حاليا من تنوع في القدرات وثراء في التخصصات إلا عبر الارتقاء بمعدلات الأداء، والتي كان للتصنيع الحربي المحلي والمشترك دورا كبيرا في تعزيز القدرة التسليحية لقواتنا البحرية. من هنا جاء دور شركة ترسانة الإسكندرية، إحدى شركات جهاز الصناعات والخدمات البحرية التابع للقوات البحرية المصرية، والتي يرجع تاريخ إنشائها إلى عهد محمد علي باشا، حيث حققت عبر تاريخها قفزات صناعية ترقى لأعلى المستويات والمعدلات العالمية في مجال بناء السفن التجارية والحربية. وعبر ملاحم من العمل الشاق كانت ترسانة الإسكندرية سباقة في التصنيع الحربي المشترك، والتي كانت إحدى ثماره المتميزة تصنيع الفرقاطات البحرية جو ويند بالاشتراك مع الجانب الفرنسي. وعلى خطى النجاح تسير ترسانة الإسكندرية عبر التصنيع الحربي المشترك مع دولة ألمانيا للفرقاطات الشبحية طراز ميكو E200 بورش ترسانة الإسكندرية وبأياد وعقول مصرية. على مدار ما يقرب من عامين أتمت ترسانة الإسكندرية الانتهاء من تصنيع وتجميع أول فرقاطة بحرية من طراز ميكو E200. واليوم نشهد تدشين أول فرقاطة بحرية طراز ميكو E200 بأياد مصرية 100%. وتمتاز الفرقاطة الشبحية طراز ميكو E200 بالآتي: يبلغ طولها 121 مترا وعرضها 16.34 مترا، القدرة على الإبحار لمسافة 7200 ميل بحري، وتصل سرعتها القصوى ل27 عقدة ونصف. منظومات تسليح حديثة تمكنها من تنفيذ كافة المهام القتالية وقتي السلم والحرب، ومكافحة كافة التهديدات السطحية والجوية وتحت السطح، حيث تتسلح الفرقاطة بمدفع رئيسي ثقيل عيار 127 ملي من طراز ليوناردو، 32 صاروخ دفاع جوي طراز ميكا NG، 16 صاروخ طراز إكسوسيت SSM، مدفع خفيف 20 ملي، مدفعي دفاع جوي صغير، توربيدات خفيفة طراز M190، توربيدات ثقيلة طراز سي هاك، قذيفتين للأعماق السطحية طراز ليوناردو، قاربين خفيفين للقوات الخاصة، مع إمكانية حمل طائرتين هليكوبتر. وهكذا استعادت مصر مكانتها بين كبرى الدول المصنعة للسفن الحربية، وأصبح حكم التدشين والإبحار لفرقاطات مصرية واقعا لا تخطئه العين، فيتأكد لنا أن مصر قادمة بكل قوة تسابق الزمن وتكسر حاجز المستحيل لتحفظ لمصر مكانتها في مجال التصنيع الحربي بجودة عالمية وبأيد وعقول مصرية، لتظل مثالا يحتذى لمعنى الإرادة والتحدي.
وبالإرادة والتحدي
and
استطاعت القوات
challenge,
البحرية
the
أن
naval
تمتلك
forces were
سجلاً
able to have a great record of achievements and successes, achieving a great leaps in the weapons and owning a lot of naval units and naval bases, in reinforcing their abilities to protect the borders of Egypt. The word of the commander of the naval forces, please.
بسم الله الرحمن
In the name
الرحيم.
of Allah, most merciful, most gracious, in the framework of your directives to pay attention to the local industry of naval units, I would like to assure you that during the recent period we were done manufacturing 3 frigates systems in cooperation with France, with 3 Rafales and 11 ships on SWIFT system. And today we are following on the footsteps of the success, manufacturing the naval units, and we would like your permission to inaugurate the new frigate manufacturing in Alexandria with Egyptian hands 100%. Please give us your permission.
أي أوامر يا فندم.
Please, I will present now the new shield of the ship.
ادي بلدنا وادي الرجاله جاهزين، مين يتعدى حدوده على المصريين، ادي الارض وادي الرجاله واقفين، مسكنا في ايدنا كتاب وحلفنا يمين.
رجال صدقوا ما عاهدوا الله
Men
عليه.
that were honest to their pledges, the best of the soldiers on earth, the Egyptian soldiers. During history, Egypt is based on a strong army, still have a main mission of protecting the homeland, requiring using the most updated, up-to-date weapons, as the armed forces is always supporting their fighting capabilities to protect the homeland and preserve the national security of Egypt and achieve peace. Now we listen to Mohammed Zaki, the Commander-in-Chief and the Minister of Defense. Please. In the name of Allah, most merciful, most gracious, Mr. President Abdel Fattah Sisi, President of the Republic, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, esteemed guests of Egypt, Ministers of Defense, Commander-in-Chiefs, heads of delegations, on behalf of the armed forces, I would like to extend my greetings from your second homeland, Egypt, as the symbol of strength and peace, as the state of security. You're coming to the third version of EDEX 2023 is a source of pride to all of us and a great message that shall be sent that everyone should contemplate and search to understand its meaning. Allow me at the outset to extend my gratitude and appreciation to President Abdel Fattah Sisi, the Commander-in-Chief, for his sponsorship of this important event, for sponsoring this important event in this critical time, coinciding with what the world is witnessing of conflicts and wars that is threatening peace and security on the national and international levels. Egypt has been always the meeting point of all the peoples of the world loving peace and security, to unify efforts and contain conflicts, to establish peace and formulate a joint future where everyone lives with peace and love and common interests. Esteemed presence, Egypt was keen through this expo in its third version, which is an international platform, to provide opportunities in front of all companies and manufacturers in the military field to provide cutting-edge present and future capabilities in the military production field, as well as exchanging visions to promote relationships between states in the field of military production, to reinforce the capabilities for joint military protection with neighboring and brotherly countries. As we considered the manufacturers and companies showcasing their equipment and weapons so that the neighborly and brotherly states can gain these weapons to reinforce their armed forces, with ensuring that not having these weapons by unofficial parties to preserve stability, as there is no development without stability and security. Ladies and gentlemen, the Egyptian armed forces always have been and always will still the protector of the belongings of this homeland, and therefore we are keen to have all cutting-edge and up-to-date weapons in a world full of conflicts. We know that those who have power able to create peace. We are heading towards a better future built on all the basis of peace against the risks and challenges, however they are great, in cooperation with the international community. We will always preserve this homeland and its stability with power to kill any assault on our homeland in cooperation with all peace-loving states. With science and power and great principles and values that preserves homelands and stability, to preserve all of us the future and the present, as the armed forces were keen to reinforce the cooperation and strategic relationships with its counterparts in brotherly and neighborly countries to establish peace and promote the values of the international humanitarian law, in assuring that joint cooperation is the real guarantee for stability and prosperity for all humanity. As the current developments on the international arena, especially the Palestinian cause, is facing grave challenges and military escalation that is unjustified to kill the Palestinian cause, and upon your directives always that peace shall always have a protection power to ensure its sustainability, as our world today has no place for the weak, and this is a reality that we can all see. Mr. President, our great nation of Egypt, that is full of civilization and culture, believes that the power is the real guarantee for peace, to protect our belongings and support the pillars of peace. Ladies and gentlemen, in the end of my speech, I would like to welcome you once more in Egypt, great guests. And I assure you that Egypt is able to organize these kind of events in peace and security, and I look forward to exchange visions and ideas during our expo, wishing you all hope and success, and for your states and armed forces all the progress and prosperity. May God preserve Egypt, may save Egypt and the entire humanity. Thank you. May peace be upon you. Mr. President Abdel Fattah Sisi, Commander-in-Chief, under your sponsorship, I would like to announce the opening of the EDEX 2023. May God be our ally. Egypt will always remain the stable country, always seeking development and peace. Please, sir, we'll go on a tour in the expo.
نحمي الشعوب لأن ده من حقها مع بعض نقدر كلنا نحمي السلام نحمي البلاد بقوة تحفظ أمنها مع بعض نقدر كلنا نحمي الشعوب لأن ده نحققها.